This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Sa inyo lahat. Sa mga minamahal ko pong kababayan, ang aking mga boss, humingi ako ng panahong makaharap kayo ngayong gabi para ipaliwanag ang ilang bagay kaugnay na naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema ukol sa DAP. Ang una ko pong tatalakayin, ano ba ang sitwasyong dinatnan natin? Kung maalala po ninyo, nang umupo tayo sa pwesto, tumatakbo na ang 2010 budget at minana rin natin ang panukalang budget ng 2011. Isipin po ninyo, sa 1.54 trillion piso na dinatnan ng 2010, nasa 100 billion o 6.5% lang nito ang natitirang gamitin sa nalalabing 6 na buwan ng taon. Talagang mapapaisip ka, saan kaya nila dinala ang pera? Naalala rin siguro ninyo ang mga manumalyang proyekto tulad ng dredging sa Laguna Lake, kung saan gagastos tayo ng 18.7 billion pesos para lang sa paglalaro ng putik. O ang mga GOCC na nagpagulan ng bonus sa mga opisyal at empleyado kahit nalulugi ang mga kumpanya. Malinaw na maraming nagaganap na katiwalian sa sistema ng pagbabudget noon. Kaya naman, tinatanggal natin ang mga ito. Kinansela natin ang mga manumalyang proyekto, inayos ang pamamalakad sa mga GOCC at sinimulang itigil ang mga hocus-pocus sa kaban.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Kunanan. Now, on this show, we talk about everything under the sun, and tonight we're going to talk about current controversies sweeping the nation. I'm talking about none other than the disbursement acceleration program that is currently being talked about by everyone in town. And we're going to talk about this topic tonight in relation to political dynasties and pork barrel. And joining us are, in our esteemed panel, are two officials of the movement against political dynasties. On my right is Mr. Danilo Olivares. He's the co-chairman of MAD. And joining him is Attorney Jun De Leon, who is the Secretary General of MAD. So, Mr. Olivares, Attorney De Leon, welcome to Philippines Uncut.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this is the second time I'm featuring MAD on the show. I think Mr. Olivares was here a few months ago.
Yeah.
And since then, we've gotten ourselves embroiled really in this new tidal wave of a controversy, which is the disbursement acceleration program of the government, coming on the heels of the PDAP controversy, pork barrel controversy. Now, before we start talking about this and your advocacies, let's talk about you guys first. Let's have some introductions, starting with Mr. Olivares.
Well, as co-chairman of the movement against dynasties, we're quite happy now that our advocacy is moving. You know, we have now the proposed bill in the lower house has passed the committee level, and we hope to see it now in the plenary session to be included in the agenda. And now in the Senate, I personally attended the hearing conducted by Senator Sani Angara, and we were happy with the results. So things are moving. It's just that we hope it will move towards the right direction.
Okay, before we get into that, let's talk about your group, MAD, Movement Against Political Dynasties. Now, you're a co-founder of MAD. Why did you found this organization? Well,
we've been doing this since even before the 2010 election. And at the time, we were already alarmed that most politicians belong to political dynasties. And so it's bad for the economy, it's bad for the country, it's bad for the people. So we have to continue what we started way back even before 2010. And it's, you know, we're happy now that we have more armament to push the movement against dynasties with this DAP and PDAP.
Okay. Kayo naman, Attorney De Leon, how did you get involved in this advocacy?
Well, as a legal practitioner, I look at the Constitution. It says plainly and very expressly prohibiting political dynasties. But for the past 27 years since 1987 Constitution, there was no law that ever passed. In fact, through all those years, dynasties have patterned, increased, and about 70% of Congress belongs to dynasty.
Wow, okay.
That's according to the study done by AIM, done by Ateneo and UP School of Governance.
So you're saying 70% of the political leadership of this country
Belong to political dynasty.
dynasties.
That's an academic study.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could imagine, out of 250 members of the lower house, 70% of
That's
yeah,
plenty.
belong to dynastic political family.
How come this thing is, as Attorney De Leon said, it's in the Constitution, there should not be any political dynasties? Bakit po lumalaga na po ang political dynasty dito sa Pilipinas?
Well, belonging to a dynasty means having the power, having the control of people, having control of the economy, having control over the police, even the judiciary. So it's simply greed and power that drive all these families to control their areas. No? So it's all over the country, as Attorney De Leon said. From Apari to Olo, you have political dynasties, and they are getting more and more brazen. No? Now they have filtered down to the grassroots level, the barangay level.
Attorney De Leon, what is wrong with political dynasties? What are the bad effects?
Well, so many. For example, I give you, in one province, if the mayors, governor, congressman belong to one political family, so as Mr. Libaga said, there's the control over politics, business, and whatever in that area. It suppresses the potential of a province or locality to grow economically, because the opportunities and the power are concentrated in just one or a few families.
Very limited and lack of
Very
empowerment
limited.
of the people.
There might be some percentage of development, but not to its full potential.
Yes, and of course, as we all know, this kind of setup also promotes corruption.
Definitely,
Yes.
yeah.
Because what drives the political machinery of these families, of these dynasties?
Yes.
It's money.
Yeah, in fact, it demolishes the check and balance principles.
Yeah.
For example, you're an outgoing mayor and who's succeeding you is your brother, father, or a relative. How could there be check and balances?
Yeah.
Or if a mayor is under a governor, if the governor and mayor belong to one family, how could there be check and balances?
So there's bound to be collusion
Exactly.
between these parties.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's link this to pork barrel, because some people are really fed up with pork barrel, and in its evil brother, the DAP,
Yeah.
the Disbursement Acceleration Program. Okay. So how does pork barrel now tie up with the dynasty issue, and how can removing pork barrel help your cause?
Well, for example, let's take an example of a family close to our heart, in Taguig and in Makati. How much pork barrel does the Cayetano family have, and how much pork barrel does the Binay family have? It amounts to billions of pesos. And
Absolutely,
and,
absolutely.
and that kind of money it's already leads to corruption.
Yes,
You know?
yeah.
And as I said, power to control their entire fiefdom or a kingdom. No? So much so that again, as we've discussed earlier, there is no chance for, the Constitution says that the political dynasties are supposed to be banned to give equal opportunity to everybody, and that removes any opportunity for any other family or a budding politician to succeed, in a dynasty-controlled area. So it's that bad. It has stunted the growth of the entire country because the entire country is ruled by dynasties.
And okay, you mentioned Taguig and Makati. I also want to mention Quezon City.
Yes.
Because it's on record, that during the time of now Speaker Belmonte, his yearly pork barrel as mayor was something like 3 billion pesos. Just his own pork barrel. Malaki pa sa mga senador.
That is the Quezon City.
Quezon City lang yan.
Quezon City budget only.
Yes, yes.
Of PDAP. But we're not talking of the national budget for PDAP.
Yes.
So it's really mind-boggling. People talking of billions and billions of pesos.
The people's money, di ba?
Of people's money. When so many people are suffering in poverty, how can we in conscience accept this PDAP and now the DAP?
Attorney.
PDAP, DAP are basically all pork barrels. These are lump sum allocations. Okay. So, PDAP and DAP recently sort of pattern, they're fattening the dynasty. It's like an engine. They're fueling the engine.
It's a fuel.
It's a fuel.
In this machine. Yes.
Kasi kung wala namang pera dyan, wala namang motivation for the dynasty to exist. Wala namang pagkakakitaan dyan, di ba?
Yes.
Enough lang yung one family lang is just for public service. But there's money there. Through pork barrel.
Yes.
Kaya ikaw anak, ikaw asawa, you succeed me o sabay-sabay na tayo so we can control.
Pag walang pera, walang dahilan para tumakbo yung isang buong pamilya.
Exactly.
Now, interesting you mentioned, okay, let's talk about PDAP, which is pork barrel. I mean, officially, this is really the funds in the GAA, General Appropriation Act, which were allocated for the lawmakers. But how is this, okay, let's define, how is PDAP different from the DAP of the Aquino administration?
Okay, PDAP is specified in particular in the GAA. Okay? But the problem there is the manner by which it was distributed, utilized, or used. In the DAP, it's not in the GAA. It's in the sole prerogative
Wala
of
sa
the
budget.
President.
Wala sa budget. Okay.
Walang appropriation na specific. Savings from Department A, savings from Department B, they lump together and it's up to the hands of the President where and how to spend that.
Now, why is that wrong? Tell me.
Well, of course, basic legal principle, no government money should be spent without appropriations.
Without approval from Congress.
Exactly.
Okay.
Congress is the one holding the purse.
The power of the purse lies with Congress.
Yes.
Okay.
So Congress should say, 1 peso should be spent on this, another peso should be spent on that. You cannot just allocate 10 pesos without any specific purpose for which it will be used. It should be specified in the GAA. Every year, there's GAA.
Yes. Pinapasa every year, the budget.
Yes, pinapasa.
Malaking pagtatalo yan sa Kongreso.
Ginawa ng Executive Department, nilikom yung mga pera from different departments, nilagay sa kamay ng Presidente, then he's free to spend it wherever he wants, however he wants it.
Without any approval from Congress.
Exactly.
Yes.
Dapat yung binabalik, kung saving siya, binabalik mo sa National Treasury. Then you submit a budget proposal come next year and for Congress to approve.
Okay. And ang sinasabi nila na savings daw yun.
Yes.
Were they really savings to begin with? Kasi yung depends upon administration, they're saying that these are monies that we saved and now we're using it, we're allocating to projects to speed up these projects.
Well, hindi mo masasabing savings yun Kasi pag savings mo, binabalik mo sa treasury yun Okay?
Tama muna, Attorney. Paano ba nagiging savings yung savings? Okay. Paano nagiging savings yung isang pera? Let's say
okay, for example, I give 1 million pesos to one department for one budget year. At the end of the budget year, meron natira. So that's savings.
Okay. Kasi yung mga yung mga perang inallocate nila for certain projects, meron pang natira, hindi naubos.
Okay. Now, savings siya, sinasabi, basta may savings, pwede mong i-rechannel siya. But it should be within the same department. So, walang crossover.
So kung DOH
lang siya.
Doon din siya.
Kung gagamitin mo siya sa ibang department, ibalik mo muna sa National Treasury and ipasa mo for the next budget year. Lagyan ng appropriation.
Okay, very clear.
It didn't happen that way.
So what happened now with itong DAP ng Aquino administration? Anong ginawa nila? Okay, number one, yung unang gusto kong tanong sa inyo, Attorney, savings ba siya o hindi?
Hindi siya savings. Strictly, legally speaking, hindi siya savings. At saka, kung saving siya in one department, pwede mo lang siya gamitin within the same department. No crossover utilization of that.
To other departments
Or to
or
other-
another branch of government.
Yes.
Yeah, for anything else.
Ay ginawa nila, wala. From different departments, they got all this money and spend it wherever.
Okay, isang tanong ko sa inyo. Okay, so if they got the money, it's not savings. Ano nangyari sa mga projects na kung saan inallocate yung perang yon? Kung tinanggal nila doon, ano nangyari sa mga proyekto? Because if it's not savings to begin with, it means that
Yes.
something had to suffer.
Well, sinasabi, kanina sa Senate hearing, Secretary Abad was saying, walang displacement na nangyari. We feel that after pulling together all this money, there's still room to spend this money.
On the projects that they...
On other projects.
Yes, yes.
Walang na-displace daw. But of course,
Pwede ba yun?
we don't know kasi wala pa namang full disclosure sila eh, no? But hindi pwedeng walang ma-displace eh kasi all this money have been appropriated
Yes,
for
for
specific
specific
purposes.
purposes.
Pag tinanggal mo siya for that
May mawawalan.
may
Yun ang yung tanong ko.
mawawalan. May
Ano nangyari
ma-displace
sa...
ngayon.
Yun ang yung tanong ko, Mr. Rivera. Ano nangyari dun sa mga binudget
Hindi,
nila?
ang question nga kanina sa Senate hearing nakita ko, some senators were questioning, bakit yung appropriations for, kunwari, the development, improvement of NAIA, hindi, ang bagal-bagal, hindi nagagawa. So, yung may perang allocated na para doon,
Yes, yes.
na hindi ginagastos, no? Bakit hindi ginagawa yung dapat na gawin with this appropriation, no? So, anong nangyayari niyan? May sobrang ang pera. At yun ang napupunta ngayon sa DAP. And yet, hindi nagagawa yung dapat gawin ng certain
Kaya nga, so
departments
it's
of
not
government.
savings.
Oo.
You're taking away
So doon
the
pa lang,
money from...
the argument that they use savings to fund this DAP,
It's not.
doon pa lang mukhang may pagkakamali.
Yes.
Oh, doon pa lang.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
At saka, you say acceleration program yan, is giving 5 billion pesos to COMELEC to buy PCOS machines, is that to accelerate the development of the country?
And we're talking about a huge amount of money. It says here almost 150 billion pesos between 2011 and 2013. And apparently most of these SAROs, itong SARA Special Allotment
Release
Order, majority of them went to legislators.
Yes.
So pag-usapan naman natin yun. Sasabi nga niya,
Pag
sabi
PDAP
natin,
yun, then DAP.
di ba? So not just illegal to give, let's say, from one department to another, ito mas malayo pang pinuntahan.
Yes, alam mo.
Kabilang
okay.
equal branch of government.
Yung arguments nga ngayon ng Palasyo is, we're in good faith. We use the DAP, though it's unconstitutional, we use that for good purposes, to pump prime the economy. It did not go to our pockets. Di ba? That's his line. Eh. When he rejected when he didn't accept the resignation of Abad, he said, I cannot accept that because I cannot stomach that somebody who's done right for the country will be adjudged as wrong. Pero tignan mo, sabi nila to pump prime. Kanina sa Senate hearing, sabi ni Senator Recto, he was asking Secretary Abad, bakit yung 10 billion from DAP, binayaran niyo yung utang ng BOC sa SGS, yung Swiss...
Yes, the quality control.
Yes.
Company.
Ba't niyo binayaran? DAP. Sabi niyo, pang pump prime ng economy. So I cannot see the logic how it pump prime the economy but paying off the 10 billion.
No jobs were created. No
jobs were created.
Commerce
Yeah.
was
Exactly.
generated.
Exactly.
Oo.
And yun, sinasabi niya kanina, some portions of that were used to
Buy PCOS machines.
buy PCOS machine.
Yeah, COMELEC asked for 5 billion, and I think they gave 4.2 billion, no,
Yeah.
to buy PCOS machines. Is that to
Pump prime
pump
the
prime the
economy.
economy?
Well, gentlemen, we have to pause for a break, but when we come back, we're going to have a short video of that hearing a while ago in the Senate, and then we'll pick up from the issue of pump priming the economy.
Yeah.
So guys, stick around for more of political dynasties, PDAP, and DAP when Philippines have got returns.